It's a pretty crazy time to be a Doctor Who fan right now. Our current incumbent Doctor is actually the legacy Doctor we've all known and loved for many, many years. Our current showrunner is actually a showrunner from 2005. And Doctor Who magazine has officially sold out. Yes, that's right. The reappearance of David Tennant on Doctor Who magazine has caused Doctor Who magazine to sell out online on the Panini store. Now, I'm going to be going into more depth as to why this could happen, as I know there are a couple of rebuttals to this idea, which I will get into momentarily. But before we get into it, if you could do me a teeny tiny little favour and click that subscribe button, it'd be very much appreciated. We are trying to get to 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so any support would be greatly, greatly appreciated. We're specifically just over 30 subscribers away from 17,200 as well, so maybe we could hit that today, I'm not sure, you know. We'll see how good the support is today, but hopefully we can. I also have a Twitter if you'd like to follow me on that, but obviously I understand if you don't want to. Twitter's a bit of a mess right now, but a link will be in the description below if you do want to follow me on there. But with that said, let's get into the video. So Doctor Who magazine has tweeted, "Stop Press, the online store at panini.co.uk, has restocked with a limited number of copies of DWM 584, which is the latest issue, available to order, expected to dispatch Thursday. Meanwhile, copies should appear in shops in the north and Scotland tomorrow." So yeah, basically there's been shortages of Doctor Who magazine because it's sold out, particularly in areas like the north of England and Scotland. I actually know this because I've got a friend, John, who's in Scotland, who's been struggling to get his copy of Doctor Who magazine. So yeah, this is pretty huge for Doctor Who magazine. It's selling out all of its copies. And I think it just goes to show how much of a great idea bringing David Tennant back was for the brand in terms of regaining public support in this 60th anniversary year. You know, whether you like the idea or not, you can't deny these figures are impressive. And this has, in fact, led to an online scalping market for Doctor Who magazine. That's right. Apparently this has been a thing for a while. Maybe I've just never seen it, but it definitely seems more pronounced this time round. As you can see here, Doctor Who magazine 584 selling for £29, £26, £22 on eBay. Bear in mind that the retail price, I believe, is around £7. So this is like a markup of nearly like 4 times that, I think, in some cases, which is absolutely ridiculous. And obviously, let's not get it twisted, part of the reason for this is inevitably going to be down to shortages, and scalpers do scalp things in general. However, scalpers only scalp things that they think they're actually going to be able to sell. And the fact that these issues are getting scalped and getting resold at higher prices at all shows the perceived value of David Tennant's return as the Doctor in some capacity. I also think another reason this magazine could be selling better is, to put it bluntly, they've had more exclusives and more cool details in it that are worth buying the magazine for. You know, the details about, like, you know, Russell T Davies's page, talking about Series 14, production notes, the comic, all that sort of stuff. It feels like the magazine is a core part of Doctor Who news again, which I don't really feel like it has felt like in the last few years, so that's really nice to see, and I have no doubt that's going to affect sales in a positive way. But yeah, whether you like the decision or dislike it, I think this kind of does show, to a certain more cynical degree, why David Tennant was brought back, because copies of Doctor Who magazine are absolutely flying off the shelves. And to be honest, it's just really nice to see Doctor Who in a positive place again. But yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't actually think Doctor Who magazine's ever had to restock before. I think that's a pretty novel thing for Doctor Who magazine. At least not within a 4-day time span. It's only been 4 days since the magazine actually came out. It's only actually been 4 days since the magazine came out, which is kind of crazy to think about. That within the span of 4 days, Doctor Who magazine's basically had to restock. That's craziness to me. So yeah, I think it just shows how big of an impact this development of David Tennant returning as the Doctor for these sets of specials is having on the show, and it's just really, really exciting to see. Speaking of Doctor Who magazine, I figured I'd go over a couple of extra details I forgot to mention in previous videos. Mainly that, according to the behind-the-scenes making of the comic segment of the magazine, the 60th anniversary specials will take place 1 hour after Power of the Doctor. So this is in terms of not actually real time, but in terms of within the story, 1 hour after the climactic regeneration. Russell says this time is to allow the DW comic series to take place in between. So this kind of rules out any idea of like a grander sort of, I guess, time skip. This will be taking place pretty directly after the centenary special, Power of the Doctor. And I guess somewhat interestingly as well, gives the magazine set that we are going to be having up until the anniversary specials a more limited time frame to deal with. So I'm wondering, you know, what they're actually going to achieve within that hour of time, although I suppose even if it is an hour in a comic, you know, you can suspend time as long as you want, I guess. I guess as well it's just a time travel show, so, you know, anything's possible. But yeah, This is interesting because it confirms, as I said, that, that there won't be a time gap for the 60th, which I think a lot of people were speculating there would be, which I am quite glad about. I wouldn't like the idea of, there being hundreds of days or months or even years of Tennant still being the Doctor even after Power of the Doctor, but before the 60th special. I think as a short-term excursion, it's a lot better, personally, and I think it makes more sense narratively as well. We also had it confirmed that David Tennant himself added the line about the teeth. In the magazine, Russell T Davies said, "It wasn't exactly the longest day at the keyboard," Davies said, about writing the regeneration scene. "There are obvious first lines, but David added the bit about teeth. That's his line, so it's written by the two of us." He added, "That's rather nice, isn't it? I like that. I was really chuffed." And yeah, that's really nice to see that David remembered that line from all those years ago and that he suggested, maybe bringing that into his scene. I think that's really cool. And yeah, that's just a really cool little detail about the regeneration scene I didn't know. But let me know what you think about all this. What do you think about Doctor Who magazine selling out its copies? Do you think David Tennant had a massive thing to do with it? I've seen a lot of people concerned that, will this hype be sustained throughout the rest of the anniversary year? And honestly, I think if they keep putting exclusives out like this and they keep, reeling in people with all these new information, obviously we know next month they're filming Ncuti Gatwa's first series. If they put like a big spread about that in Doctor Who magazine, maybe with him and a new companion on the cover, I could definitely see Doctor Who magazine continuing to sell really, really strong, even beyond, the 60th anniversary. As I said, it's just really nice to see such a old and core attribute of the Doctor Who brand doing so well, and I think it shows Russell T Davies knows what he's doing. He knows how to get the general public on board. He knows how to get everyone excited. We also know that David Tennant's reappearance on Power of the Doctor did result in an increase in viewers. So yeah, I think Doctor Who's future is looking very bright, very safe, and very exciting. But let me know in the comments below what you think about all this. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you later.